Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my bag
I like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at?
I like when you scrambling and scraping.
No, I got
I like that. Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You put in that work.
It's enough.
Yeah.
I get it. You got it.
You look beautiful. Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But
So Atlanta, we come and get my way. Yeah, Atlanta, I'm bringing something special. Drake, what up, baby?
Yo, Diddy, you gave me the ooshkash gooshmash. You gave me the ooshkash muaf, the smooshmash.
It's giving R. Kelly, Teray. It's giving, it's disturbing.
I know this man well enough to call him and say, hey, I need a favor.
Yeah.
And this might have been 10, 12 years ago that I called him and say, hey, I have a family member who I want you to hire them as an intern.
Yeah.
And I have never talked about this publicly. And he said yes. And they were flying around, one of the interns, Atlanta, Miami, whatever, on the jet, in the house, whatever. And then the internship stopped abruptly, like 3 or 4 months into it.
Yeah.
And I spoke to my family member, like, well, what happened? And they wouldn't say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did it end? He wouldn't say. And years later, they finally came out, and this a male, and said that Puff had said, come home, stay the night with me, or the internship is over. And they said, absolutely not. He said, absolutely not. And the internship ended. But from there, I was like, this is how it goes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So to hear that things went even further with potentially, allegedly, many other people, it's not, we feel like we've seen this coming.
Hello everyone, if you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If this is your second, third, fourth time watching one of my videos and you are not yet subscribed, we already go together. Okay, make it official and hit that subscribe button. Today, we need to talk about the #1 closeted man in hip-hop, Diddy. The rumors about Diddy's sexuality have been around since the 90s, so no one is really surprised by the allegations pertaining to him and other men. Even Mase alluded to his sexuality in the early 2000s.
Okay. Well, P. Diddy's supposed to be releasing a gospel album. What came to your mind when you heard that? What thoughts did you have?
Y'all want me to answer that?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, can RuPaul put out a gospel album?
And all the way back in 2018, a male escort was arrested for burglary, theft, and opening fire on an officer at a Trump hotel. And all the way back then in 2018, in a police interrogation video, he says that he engaged in sexual activity with Diddy and Cassie. And back then, everyone thought he was crazy.
Diddy and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They're all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati. I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave.
So at this point, no one is really surprised that Diddy is as straight as a rainbow. But what is a surprise is that Diddy seems to be the Jeffrey E. of hip-hop. Diddy's homes have been raided by the feds in relation to a trafficking investigation, and it has been reported that they have found weapons as well as hidden cameras in every room of his properties, and they have obtained footage of individuals in compromising situations. Diddy is someone who has been affiliated with some of the most powerful, wealthy, and influential people in the world, and I'm sure many of these elites have been to his house and they've participated in these little parties and freak-offs. So if the feds have gotten their hands on evidence that implicates any of these wealthy elites,
I tell you what, Puffy, your life is in danger.
As of the making of this video, Diddy's still alive and he hasn't been arrested and no charges have been laid. But at this point, One of those things seems inevitable. One of the conspiracy theories that I have heard be floated around the internet is that this whole operation was just a ploy for the feds to be able to go into Diddy's house and take evidence and destroy it to protect Diddy and other powerful people. And that's a compelling theory. We will just have to wait and see. But another conspiracy theory that I have heard is that the reason the elites are no longer brushing Diddy's crimes under the rug is because he crossed them. Diddy has been the face of Ciroc and DeLeon for years, but in May of 2023, he filed a racial discrimination lawsuit against Diageo, the company that owns Ciroc and DeLeon, as well as many other liquor brands. In Diddy's lawsuit, he claims that Diageo was not putting the same marketing and distribution dollars into Ciroc and DeLeon because they are viewed as urban brands, and as a result, those brands didn't achieve their full earning potential. So that was the basis of his lawsuits, and just a few months after Diddy filed his lawsuit against Diageo, all of these other lawsuits started to come out against Diddy. And funny enough, in January of this year, so just a few months ago, Diddy withdrew his lawsuit against Diageo, and they have settled privately.
Got him!
The criminal investigation into Diddy seems to be triggered by the lawsuits that were filed by Cassie, Lil Rod, as well as 3 other women whose identities have not yet been made public. Just to quickly recap, back in November of 2023, Diddy's ex Cassie filed a $30 million lawsuit against Diddy, where she alleged that Diddy had abused her, forced her to have relations with male escorts. She even accused him of blowing up Kid Cudi's car because during a rough patch in her relationship with Diddy, she began seeing Kid Cudi, and out of jealousy, Diddy blew up Kid Cudi's car, and Kid Cudi has confirmed that yes, this did happen. Cassie also alleged that Diddy regularly drugged her, forced her to carry his weapons in her purse, threatened to harm her if she left, and even took videos of their freak-offs and shared them with other people in the industry.
They sent me the girl pictures, like pictures of this girl, like not the shit that y'all saw. Worse, way worse. Tracing pictures and
Nah, come on, man.
all that. And I called the nigga. I said, yo, you with this girl? Like, you really, like, you like her? Like that? And he was like, yeah, that's my girl. I'm like, all right, I'm going to send you something. You look at it, you call me back.
Yeah,
I sent him the photos, the pictures and everything. And the nigga called back and was like, yo, thanks, man. Yo, I really appreciate that. Yo, where you get these shits from? And I said, you know, like, because they know, like, if something crazy is going on, if they send it to me, I'll make sure it get out there. Like, as far as this video.com is concerned.
Yeah, yep.
And those other properties. So they sent it to me. But, you know, I really kind of felt like those photographs was not happening because of Cassie. I felt like they was happening because of Puffy.
If 50 Cent received a video of Cassie from someone other than Cassie and other than Diddy, then that means it had been circulating around the industry before it made its way to 50. And that just makes you wonder who else in the industry knew what Diddy was doing to Cassie and still decided to associate themselves with him. Another story pertaining to Cassie that I find very suspect, and I think the police need to investigate, pertains to the surgeon who did her breast implants in 2009, Dr. Frank. It has been alleged that in the fall of 2009, Diddy forced Cassie to get breast implants. A witness who was present for the consultations said Diddy did all of the talking and Cassie had no say in the procedure. The witness says Cassie just stood there topless while being photographed and while Diddy consulted with the surgeon on what he wanted Cassie to look like. After the surgery was complete, Diddy didn't like how they looked because in his opinion, they were too big. The next day, Diddy demanded that Dr. Ryan replace the breast implants with smaller ones, but Dr. Ryan advised that it was too dangerous and they should wait at least 6 months for it to heal before operating again. But Diddy didn't care, and he responded, quote,
"No, they've got to come out. Call who you need to call. They've got to come out."
Although the surgeon tried to stand firm on his stance, Diddy pressured him into performing the procedure. The witness said, quote, "Privately, Dr. Ryan told me this was mutilation, that I can't even believe this. He was saying, poor Cassie, this is awful." About 8 months after Cassie's procedure, Dr. Ryan's car flew off a cliff in Malibu. He died, but his dog survived. Apparently, he was tweeting and driving. Now, I'm not saying Diddy did it, but what I am saying is that this matches his pattern of behavior.
Savage! I'm a savage! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
Now, let's get into the juicy stuff. Rodney Jones, aka Lil Rod, is a producer who worked with Diddy on his Love album. Yes, apparently Diddy released an album in 2023. I didn't know that he thought that we still want to hear music from him. I thought Diddy knew that no one cares to hear him rap anymore.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
But yes, the lawsuit that Rodney Jones, aka Lil Rod, has filed stems from the time he spent with Diddy working on the Love album. And I read all 73 pages of the lawsuit, and it is juicy. Lil Rod lived with Diddy for months at a time, and he kept audio, video, and photo evidence of what went down. So I'm going to go through the most interesting parts of the lawsuit and tie in some corroborating evidence that has been circulating around the internet streets, as well as evidence that was provided in the lawsuit. So the first allegation, Lil Rod says he has irrefutable evidence of the acquisition, use, and distribution of ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms. In the lawsuit, Lil Rod shows evidence of a pink drug known as Tucci? I don't know the proper pronunciation because I don't do drugs, okay? But this TUCI drug, Tucci, whatever, is a combination of cocaine and ecstasy. Of course, Diddy would find the gayest way to do drugs, pink cocaine.
You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow.
In the lawsuit, Brendan Paul is listed as one of Diddy's drug mules, and we recently saw him get arrested, and this looks like the face of someone who's gonna snitch.
As Combs himself was preparing to fly out of Opa-locka Airport, but not on his private plane, which had already departed for Antigua. It was at Opa-locka that one of his entourage, Brendan Paul, was arrested for having cocaine in his bags.
Young Miami is also mentioned as someone who has transported drugs across state lines for Diddy.
Court documents say on one occasion last year, Young Miami got on a private plane to bring drugs to Diddy. Jones claims he and Diddy were rehearsing for a music festival in Virginia where Jones allegedly witnessed Diddy doing a few lines of cocaine in his dressing room. Diddy allegedly wanted pink cocaine, and Diddy's alleged drug supplier, Brendan Paul, is named as for getting the stash. So Diddy's chief of staff made a call to Young Miami, who then brought it on a private jet from Miami, which according to retired FBI agent Colin Schmidt, is a crime.
Lil Rod also claims to have evidence that Diddy has possession of and has distributed illegal firearms, and he also implicates Diddy and his son Justin Combs in a shooting. On September 12, 2022, Lil Rod, Diddy, Justin Combs, and Justin Combs' friend Mr. G were all at the Chalice recording studio in LA, in addition to other unnamed individuals. At some point during that evening in the studio, Diddy, Justin, and Justin's friend, Mr. G, got into a heated conversation in front of the group. During this heated exchange, the three men moved the conversation into the restroom, at which point multiple gunshots were heard. After the shooting ended, Diddy and his son exited the restroom, and Mr. G was laying on the floor in a fetal position, bleeding from his stomach and his hip. Lil Rod says everyone just stood there and did nothing. So he approached Mr. G to apply pressure to his wounds and asked for someone to call an ambulance. Before the police and ambulance arrived, Diddy gave strict instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting and to lie and say that the shooting took place in the parking lot and that it was a drive-by. In the lawsuit, Lil Rod provided a photo of the bloody bathroom and indicated that the other unnamed individuals who were present at the studio are willing to corroborate his story if they're subpoenaed. In the lawsuit, Lil Rod mentions that the police actually did go into the studio. They did see the bloody bathroom, but they still reported it as if the shooting took place in the parking lot. So that just shows you how not only are the people around Diddy protecting him, but that the police are also protecting Diddy. The police are corrupt, and this is not the first time that Diddy has shot someone, and those around him covered for him. Back in 1999, a woman named Natanya Rubin was shot in the face by Diddy, but Diddy had his artist Shine take the fall for him.
You have said since really right after the shooting that it was P. Diddy who shot you.
I was standing by the front door. I watched the entire thing out. I had no reason to believe that it would escalate to a shooting. It was just male machismo and bravado at first. A lot of pushing and shoving, raised voices, hands, but then I saw them reach in their waist and draw from their hip. And I knew, I instantly turned to my friends and told them, be careful, watch out. And when I turned back, I know, and I've said over and over, I've heard the voice of God said, you are about to be hit. Calm down. And as I said no, I looked straight forward ahead and I watched the muzzle flash from both of their guns and I felt the impact to my face instantly. J-Lo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in and she lied to the grand jury.
In the lawsuit, Lil Rod says he was sexually harassed and assaulted by Diddy on several occasions. He alleges that Diddy would touch his butt and private parts, would walk around naked in front of him, and he says that Diddy would force him to work on music in the bathroom while Diddy showered behind a clear glass enclosure. What's wrong with this guy? Lil Rod says that he believes Diddy was trying to groom him into a homosexual relationship with not only himself, but other men, including Cuba Gooding Jr. and Stevie J. Lil Rod alleges that on one occasion on Diddy's yacht, Diddy invited Cuba Gooding Jr. over during a recording session and left them alone in the studio to get to know each other better. Once the two were alone, Cuba Gooding Jr. began to make unsolicited advances towards him, and it was only stopped when Lil Rod forcibly pushed him away. Lil Rod also mentions being sexually assaulted by Young Miami's female cousin. Now, her cousin's name is not mentioned in the lawsuit. She's just referred to as Jane Doe 1, but Lil Rod claims that on one occasion, he was in the bathroom attempting to urinate when Jane Doe 1 came in and forced herself on him while Diddy and his associates were outside the bathroom laughing. He says when he exited the bathroom, Jane Doe 1 followed him, undressed herself, and once again tried to force herself on him like she was trying to initiate a freak-off in front of Diddy, but Lil Rod wasn't interested. One common theme that I have seen be brought up by people in the industry, and specifically about Diddy, is that they like to test the waters to see what you're into rather than outright propositioning you. For example, one of Diddy's former security guards talks about how one day Diddy was at a hotel with two women and Ja Rule.
They all in the room together. It's Sarah, the girl, Puff, and this dude, this rapper. Next thing you know, somebody rang the doorbell. We had the presidential suite where we was at. So I opened the door, and the dude said, yo, I'm here for my cousin. I said, who your cousin? He said, Ja Rule. I said, well, he busy right now. He said, he busy doing what? I said, he with Puff. They're in the room, they busy. They don't want to be bothered. He said, well, I'm going in there. I said, bruh, you ain't going in there because he told me they don't want nobody to be bothering them. Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked. Ja was like, yo, what's going on? Yo, Gene, that's my cousin. He know me well, you know, and Puff was like, yo, Gene, what happened? I said, he tried to get in the room. I told him he couldn't get in the room. Puff looked at Ja. He said, yo, Ja said, you ain't want to go in that room because there's a lot of freaking going on, bro. And, you know, the whole court thing. And when I'm reading the stuff, a lot of this sound familiar. You understand? And what I mean sound familiar, how he would get other girls and get girls to try to, you know, convince this guy, put him in a sexual situation with other girls so he could do whatever he wanted to do with them. And it's just like the situation somewhat with Sarah and her girlfriend and him and Ja. You know what I'm saying? Bringing girls on to try to convince this other guy to be in a room with another naked man and all this other bullshit.
So basically what Diddy's former bodyguard is alluding to is that Diddy was interested in clapping Ja Rule's cheeks. So he used the two women as a ploy to get Ja Rule to engage in activity. Allegedly. I'm gonna be messy here a little bit. I've been trying to wrap my mind around why does 50 Cent have so much hate for Diddy, right? Like, we know he has hate for Ja Rule for a good reason. Ja Rule tried to have his life taken away from him. So that makes sense. But what did Diddy do? I think the same thing that Diddy did to Ja Rule, I think he either tried that shit with 50 Cent or it happened. And then during the act, 50 Cent realized what Diddy was really about and he's not with it. And ever since then, he's had a beef with him because they used to be friends. I don't think 50 Cent will ever say it, but I think he tried to Ja Rule 50 Cent.
That's why I don't be going to the puffy parties. They can hug you from the front and the back at the same time. What are you talking about? Look, if you're into that, I'm fine with it. To each his own. I'm just saying this ain't out kind of hot. I'm like, it's uncomfortable.
But anyways, going back to Lil Rod's lawsuit. Lil Rod also says that Diddy showed him a video of Stevie J engaging in adult activities with a white man without a condom, and it appears as though Stevie J didn't even have knowledge that the video was being taken. Still images of that footage were included in the court documents, but I'm not gonna bother show it here. If you want to see it, Google it. It's out there. Lil Rod says that Diddy explained to him that this is normal practice in the industry in an attempt to groom Lil Rod to being intimate with him. And this does appear to happen way more often in the industry than I previously thought. Columbus Short, the actor who starred in the movie Stomp the Yard, also shared his own story about Diddy and about being drugged at a Hollywood meeting.
So about 2-30 in the morning, 2:15, 2:30 in the morning, phone rings, is an unknown number. I don't answer unknown numbers. But, you know, my wife looking at me like, yeah.
Who is that?
Pick that up.
I want to know about this.
So I put it on speaker. Yeah. Picked it up. I say, who is this? It's Sean. I'm like, Sean? It's Puff. I'm like, oh, what's good?
Talking low like that?
Talking low. So I was like, hey, what's good? I said, what's cracking? He said, we didn't see you tonight at the BET Awards. We didn't see you tonight. He said,
He checking in.
He said, what you doing? I was like, oh man, I'm at the crib. He said, oh yeah, we over here at the he said, I'm over here at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I said, oh, for real? I said, who over there? Just me.
You serious?
He said, just me. So my wife, I'm over here on the suspect list.
What the hell?
So I'm like, nah, man, I'm in bed, bro. I'm good. He's like, and just hung up. And you know, so I used to drink a lot, like a lot. Like I could drink a bottle of tequila by myself. And I had got invited to this meeting, but I hadn't drank all day. And so it's night. It's like 11:30, 12. There was only about 14, 15 people in there, but some people. And they was like, Columbus, what did you drink at Columbus? I'm like, I only drink one thing, tequila. So I was like, all right, let me get a shot. So I'm over here, like, we chopping it up. I take my shot. I'm like, pretty smooth. So we chopping it up. 5 minutes go by, 7 minutes go by. Something wrong. Because I'm getting dizzy. I'm trying to stay on one shot. So I'm like, I'm trying to stay focused, you know, but I'm hearing, but it's I'm like, I start getting a little sweaty. I was like, oh, something wrong. I gotta find it. I was like, I played it cool.
Where's the restroom?
Where's the bathroom?
Yeah.
So I'm like, they like down this hall, and it's like a big ass house in Atlanta. So I'm like, walking down the hallway, look like the Starship Enterprise. I go to the bathroom and I put my finger down my throat and cat backing.
Yeah, because you knew.
And my manager was with me, so he kicked in the door. Boom, Short, you all right? I was like, bro, I don't know, bro. I was like, son. He's like, the driver's still outside. Let's go. So we go out, and they all met us in like the vestibule, and they're like, "Hey, you good, Short?" And I was like, "Chill, just relax." I'm like, "Nah, I just like, no, I'm fine. I gotta be at set early in the morning." Boom, get in the SUV. Just get out of here. After all this stuff about Diddy been coming out recently, I called my boy. I said, "Man, now it all making sense." I said, "What was they gonna do? What was gonna happen if I had stayed over there and I was drunk?" He said, "Hey, man, you was gonna be caught on tape with a triple glizzy." I said, "What's a triple glizzy?" I'll let you guys decide what a triple glizzy is.
I don't doubt that Diddy has been using the same tactic to manipulate and blackmail people. That's probably the exact reason why he has cameras all over his house. And in the lawsuit, Lil Rod mentions that Diddy claims, this is all alleged, claims to have slept with Stevie J, Meek Mill, and Usher. Just a disclaimer, it does not explicitly say Meek Mill and Usher, but it is very heavily alluded to. But the crazy thing is that Diddy has known Usher since he was 13 years old, and Diddy is almost 10 years older than Usher. At one point, Diddy had legal custody of Usher, and Usher has alluded to seeing some crazy things while in Diddy's custody.
We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor
some.
Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Usher, it's time to confess. What did he do to you as a kid? I know it's not nothing, and I'm also gonna need Justin Bieber to come forward as well, because he spent a lot of alone time with Diddy. as a minor.
Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives. Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
There is actually a conspiracy theory floating around the internet that the music video for Justin Bieber's song Yummy is exposing the diddlers in the music industry.
Do y'all remember how creepy Justin Bieber's Yummy video was? Let's start off with the promotion for the song. Justin had uploaded over a dozen pictures of babies onto his Instagram page with the hashtag Yummy underneath. In the music video, you can see Justin eating at a table, enjoying food with a bunch of the elite or rich people. He's enjoying a sandwich until gross food starts coming out. Then he's no longer eating, but all the rich people at the table are still eating the gross food, still participating in the gross acts. And towards the end of the music video, you see a plate with a baby Justin Bieber on it, and it says Yummy. During the filming of the music video, Justin Bieber had a panic attack and had to stop filming for a while.
A lot of people in the industry have spoken about the weird things that go on at these Hollywood parties. Some have said it indirectly, and some have said upfront about what they have seen. And there's a social media influencer named Josh Ostrovsky who says he accidentally saw something that he wasn't supposed to see when he was at one of Diddy's parties.
I went to a party on Star Island in Miami where P. Diddy has a private residence. I had no business being there. You know, it's all like, you know, my man is telling me that, like, you know, every third person is some executive, you know, got behind the scenes guys who I don't recognize.
It's a high-end crowd.
Very high-end. And there's no joke, there's maybe 100 people. I mean, it is intimate.
It's a serious
I have
serious
no business
party.
being there.
Sure.
So, long story short, I am on ecstasy and I'm trying to find the bathroom and I can't find the bathroom and I just kind of like go down a flight of stairs and now I'm in like the inner windings of the mansion because most of it's going down by the pool.
Okay.
You know, cabanas and stuff.
Dragon's Lair.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're getting serious.
So I get lost and I'm in like just a maze of rooms. So I open a door and in that room there are a bunch of men. And they're all kind of like very like Romanesque, like laying about. And I look, and who is lounging in my direct eye line? Puff Daddy and Felix the House Cat, famed house music producer.
Yeah, no, I know who that is.
Basically spooning each other. I swear to God, they're basically spooning and they're drinking a glass of Hennessy. And they're like sharing it. The minute I make eye contact with him, like a gigantic bouncer comes over and says, "Get the fuck out."
Walking in on Diddy with another man is probably the scariest thing that can happen to you. You're either afraid that he will force you to join in, or you're afraid that he will throw you off a cliff and the police will say you died of cancer. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. If you are not yet subscribed, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to find me on other social media platforms, you can find me on Instagram at NissCee.Social. I also have a Patreon account if you would like to support my channel. I would like to give a special thanks to those of you who are currently supporting me on Patreon. It's greatly appreciated. If you liked this video and you would like to see 2 more like it, I will have 2 more videos linked for you in the end cards. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.